All right, good morning. Thank you everyone for being here with us. COVID-19 has highlighted and exacerbated many of the challenges we faced before the pandemic, homelessness being chief among them. COVID-19 has also provided an opportunity to bring our regional leaders together, to bring us together in common purpose and a sense of common action with a bias towards getting things done at a speed rarely seen. That was certainly the case when the city, the county, the RTFH, the Housing Commission came together to open the convention center to serve more than 1,000 of our unsheltered in a safe environment. That was a temporary solution. And in coordination with Mayor Faulconer, with the Housing Commission, with Councilmember Chris Ward as chair of the RTFH, with the county, thoughts and plans were immediately put in place for how do we begin to find a permanent solution. How do we take that same spirit of common purpose and action with the sense of urgency that led us to the convention center and apply it towards a more permanent solution? And I want to commend the city and the Housing Commission in working with the possibility of state funding for putting together a tremendous portfolio of opportunity to acquire motels and permanent supportive housing options, the type of thing that is foundational and key to addressing the underlying problems of homelessness. They are doing an incredible job in putting that together and bringing us here today. And now it's time for the County of San Diego to step up and commit to the mental health and drug treatment services to make these housing opportunities truly work. Tomorrow, the Board of Supervisors will have a choice when it comes before the budget to help hundreds of San Diegans receiving the mental health and substance abuse treatment they need in the rooms that are in the process of being acquired, and to help us break the cycle of on the street, in the psych hospital, in jail, in the emergency room, out and then back again. San Diego needs permanent solutions, and the County of San Diego needs to step up and do its part to make sure that we are taking care of those vital services. I propose directing $5.4 million to deliver the behavioral health and care coordination services on site at the new permanent supportive housing units that are being acquired by the City of San Diego and the San Diego Housing Commission in partnership with the state's Home Key project. Mayor Faulconer, Councilmember Ward, who chairs the Regional Task Force on the Homeless, Jeff Davis of the San Diego Housing Commission, understand the need of all of us to work together and understand the desire to truly get these folks on a path to wellness and to a sustained life. The majority of these funds will provide these services in these hotels that are being converted, and the remainder of the funds will be available for other jurisdictions who might come up with similar programs. Other leaders and mayors in other parts of the city, they might get together with the coalition, they might come up with some funding, they might acquire their own housing opportunities. And if they do that, we want to stand ready and willing as a county to know that we can provide the same help and support that we're offering here. I've talked a lot in my time in office about the need to break the cycle, that there is a better way to provide behavioral health services, and this is a key part of it. And so again, I want to thank the city and the mayor, Councilmember Ward, the Regional Task Force on Homeless, which he chairs, the Housing Commission, and everyone who has done so much to this date to come together and solve this. Now it's time for us to take the next step and get on a path to permanency and actually invest the resources we need to truly begin to address our homeless problem. With that, I'd like to introduce Mayor Kevin Faulconer to share his perspective on this. And again, I want to thank the city and the Housing Commission for doing a lot of work, a lot of very difficult, hard work to put the financing together, to identify the locations, and to get in a position where we're on the cusp of really doing something good for San Diego. Mayor Faulconer.
Thank you, Supervisor Fletcher, and good morning. Thank you for all of you for being here today. The COVID-19 pandemic has undoubtedly changed all of our lives, from how we interact to how we work to how our society functions. But in the face of ongoing health and economic crisis, regional partners have banded together to help keep our residents safe. Nowhere is that more evident than in our homeless system. As you have heard Supervisor Fletcher just talk about the tremendous work we all pulled together at the San Diego Convention Center. When we heard of obviously months ago about the potential risk of this virus to protect our vulnerable populations, including our homeless neighbors, the city, the county, the Regional Task Force on the Homeless, and the San Diego Housing Commission we got together and we devised a strategy to protect individuals' health through Operation Shelter to Home at the convention center. And we said, if we are going to reimagine our homeless shelters, let's take a deep dive into how we actually get people into housing. The navigation teams from the Housing Commission, the RTFH, and our providers have done truly amazing work these past several months. In fact, more than 400 people have been housed, and we have another 550 in the process. That's incredible, but it's just the beginning. Our next phase of Operation Shelter to Home is focused on creating more homes, permanent homes, for hundreds more. And one of the greatest housing needs for the folks at the convention center is for those with high needs, who with a little support could be successful in an apartment of their own. The wraparound services provided on site are absolutely essential, and that's why we are here today. The city and the Housing Commission began looking to purchase hotels in March, units with full kitchens that can rapidly be converted into permanent housing. We began this work ahead of a state announcement of over $500 million being made available to support this type of acquisition. We are currently vetting properties. We've applied for a portion of the state funding, and we will bring projects forward for consideration later this fall. And I would just say that by converting hotels into housing, our region, and this is a regional effort, our region will continue to lead the state on solutions that reduce homelessness. And it's critical that when we have the keys in hand for these units, we have the services to support them. And through the leadership of Supervisor Fletcher, the county can take action tomorrow to ensure that that happens. I'm here today to urge the entire Board of Supervisors to support these services, to vote yes, and to keep these individuals housed. There has never been this much of an opportunity, and there's never been this much of a need. And if done right, it can be a real game changer. We have made significant progress, all of us, through Operation Shelter to Home, and it's a model for the future of our homeless system. And so I want to thank the County of San Diego for supplying behavioral and medical teams at Operation Shelter to Home. And I want to acknowledge the Housing Commission for the difficult job of housing navigation and the work that they are doing for clients. The Housing Commission has streamlined how folks are accessing our housing resources, and I think most importantly, working to increase our housing stock. And I'd like to thank Councilmember Ward for his support at the council and his leadership on the Regional Task Force for Housing on this issue. Just say in conclusion that San Diego can and will exit this pandemic with fewer individuals on our streets than before, and when the counties vote tomorrow, they can have the support that will help keep them housed permanently. That's what this vote is all about. Permanent solutions with the wraparound services to keep folks off the street for good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Faulconer. Next speaker I want to invite is my friend, the chair of the Regional Task Force on the Homeless, Councilmember Chris Ward. He's been an integral part in every step that we've taken and every action we've done surrounding tackling the challenges of homeless. Has been incredibly helpful to me and my office around behavioral health issues. So we're thrilled to have him here and appreciate all of his work. Councilmember Ward.
Great. Well, thank you and good morning, everybody. I want to thank Supervisor Fletcher for bringing this proposal to the Board of Supervisors tomorrow. It is essential that it pass. Now, I know how COVID-19 the health crisis has changed each of our lives, and it's impacted some more than others. This crisis, however, did not replace other challenges we faced. Rather, it threatened to exacerbate our existing homelessness crisis and highlighted our lack of affordable housing. Just recognizing the impact of these crises on our most vulnerable is one thing. Responding collaboratively and immediately is another. And that's what we've done, and that's what we need the county to continue to do tomorrow. We should be proud of the work that the city, the county, the Housing Commission, the Regional Task Force on the Homeless have done so far. With the help of dozens of partner organizations, we have provided rental assistance, childcare, helped small businesses, sheltered thousands of people safely, reached out to vulnerable populations to help them minimize their risk of contracting COVID-19, and have found permanent homes for over 400 previously homeless and at-risk San Diegans. But we must continue to do more. San Diegans are demanding it. We are on the cusp today of a major step to build on this tomorrow, if this funding is approved. Our mission to house those experiencing homelessness is not new, but through state funding now available to the region, we have the ability to accelerate this step. Hundreds of stabilized, ready, waiting individuals and families in shelter are counting on the hundreds of units that we could get through our region's Project Home Key application. Now, permanent housing is successful long-term if we safely keep people housed. We know this. It's proven. And so we need to show that we have the full complement of services necessary to work with the rehoused individuals and families to help them not fall back into homelessness. And I deeply appreciate the work of the San Diego Housing Commission at our mayor's behest to quickly submit the application, and I'm hopeful that the state will approve it and respond positively. $5.4 million of behavioral health and care coordination services gives individuals the security and peace of mind that a new home is a permanent home, that the wraparound services will be there for new projects, for them. It would be a shame, it would be a setback, it would be a failure to lose state housing money to other regions again, and we don't have to. We need the Board of Supervisors to vote yes tomorrow, to stay in this partnership so we are all doing our part, not just to reduce the threats of COVID-19, but to end homelessness for people at the same time. Or in this case, to use this moment to end homelessness for hundreds of individuals, hundreds of families at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Ward. Our final speaker today is the Executive Vice President and Chief of Staff for the San Diego Housing Commission, Jeff Davis. Can speak more to the application they have submitted for Home Key and why these funds are vital to the overall success of the program. Jeff?
Good morning. Approving these county funds for supportive services is an absolutely essential step as we continue to work together to solve the homelessness crisis in our city. These resources will help many San Diegans experiencing homelessness today achieve that housing stability that they need in order to get back on their feet. The Housing Commission has submitted applications to the state for these Home Key funds. If the state grants these funds, the Housing Commission will use them to purchase, rehabilitate, and convert them into permanent supportive housing for homeless individuals. And these are going to provide opportunities again for hundreds of San Diegans experiencing homelessness to move into a place of their own. The county's financial support of these efforts is crucial to provide the supportive services that these San Diegans need in order to stay in their homes long after they move in. County approval of this $5.4 million in supportive services funding tomorrow would build upon similar partnerships between the Housing Commission and the county. For example, the Housing Commission acquired West Park Inn and Quality Inn in Bankers Hill in 2017. Together, these two former motels currently provide 137 affordable, permanent supportive housing units for folks that had experienced homelessness prior to being able to move in. And it's the county's Behavioral Health Services Division that funds the supportive services at those units that help them to stabilize their lives and to successfully move forward in rebuilding their lives. We look forward to the opportunity to expand that partnership with the County of San Diego to help additional new families achieve stability. Many thanks to Supervisor Fletcher for proposing the additional funds for supportive services that are needed for these to be successful. Thank you also to Mayor Faulconer for his leadership on the Operation Shelter to Home at the Convention Center, as well as his support of the Housing Commission's application for the Home Key funds. And also thank you to Councilmember Ward for your strong leadership in addressing homelessness, not only as a member of the City Council, but also as chair of Regional Task Force for the Homeless. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. If we have any questions, we can address them. If not, I know everyone here is available for one-on-one interviews. With that, thank you all. And again, we're hopeful tomorrow the board will continue to be a partner in addressing our regional challenges. Thank you.